All right, today we're jumping headfirst into the world of Norse mythology, but we're going to be looking past the usual guys. We are digging into the stories of the divine feminine, the goddesses who were, you could argue, the very soul of creation, wisdom, and life itself.
So, let me ask you, when I say Norse gods, who pops into your head? It's probably the big three, right? The all-seeing Odin, the hammer-swinging Thor, and of course, the god of pure chaos, Loki. Their stories are epic, no doubt. But is that really the whole picture?
Not even close. Because right alongside them, you've got these incredible figures, like Freya, a master of magic so powerful she actually taught Odin a thing or two. You've got Hel, the quiet, imposing ruler of the dead, and Skadi, the fierce, independent goddess of the hunt. See, these weren't just sidekicks. They were forces of nature in their own right.
So, that's what we're doing. We're looking beyond Thor and Odin. It is absolutely time to rediscover this divine feminine power and see just how essential it was to the whole Norse world.
You know, this isn't about pushing the gods aside. It's about getting the full story. There's a perfect quote for this. To rediscover them is to breathe life into the full tapestry of Norse mythology. The key takeaway here: their myths aren't just dusty old relics. They are living stories.
Let's start with maybe the most complex and powerful of them all, Freya. I mean, what a powerhouse. She's a total goddess of paradoxes, holding sway over love and war, magic and death, all at the same time.
Just look at her resume. It's staggering. She's the goddess of love and fertility, but also of war and battle. She controlled cosmic magic and prophecy, and she was a keeper of the dead. She oversaw wealth and desire. I mean, think about that. She wasn't just one thing. She was everything, all rolled into one incredible, complex being.
Her greatest power was this magic called Satyr. This wasn't just simple spells. This was the art of weaving and shaping fate itself. Now, this was seen as a traditionally feminine art, and Freya was its undisputed master. So much so that Odin himself, the All-Father, obsessed with knowing everything, came to her to learn it. That one fact tells you everything you need to know about her status.
And that status carries right over into the afterlife. We all know about Valhalla, Odin's great hall for warriors. But Freya has her own realm, Folkvanger, a great field of renewal. But here is the kicker, the part that gets left out of most stories. Freya gets the first pick of all slain warriors. She chooses her half before Odin can even claim his for Valhalla.
So yeah, Freya was a massive deal, easily on par with Odin. But was she just a one-off? A total outlier? Or was she part of a much bigger picture, a whole pantheon of powerful goddesses?
Well, you probably guessed it. Freya was far from alone. The Norse world was packed with these incredible goddesses: Hel, Skadi, Sif, and so many more. Each one commanded her own domain with absolute authority.
And the range of this power is just wow. You've got Hel ruling the underworld. Her power wasn't about being evil, it was about the solemn, undeniable balance of mortality. Then you have Skadi, a total contrast, the embodiment of the wild, a fiercely independent spirit of the mountains in winter. And then Sif, the absolute bedrock of the community, symbolizing the harvest and the protective bonds of family. They covered every aspect of life and death.
And don't think for a second these goddesses were passive. Just look at Skadi. When the gods killed her father, she didn't just weep. No, she strapped on her armor, grabbed her weapons, and marched right up to the gates of Asgard, by herself, to demand what was owed. The gods were so stunned by her courage, her raw nerve, that they made a deal with her right then and there. That's real power.
So, okay, these weren't just abstract ideas or faraway deities. Their stories and their power had a direct impact on the day-to-day lives of the Norse people, influencing everything from their magic to their warriors.
Take the story of Sif's hair. It starts with Loki, up to his old tricks, and he maliciously cuts off her glorious golden hair, which was literally a symbol of the grain harvest. Her husband, Thor, is about to end Loki right then and there. So to save his own skin, Loki gets the dwarves to forge Sif a new head of hair out of pure gold. But here's the magic. It grows like it's real. So out of Loki's chaos, Sif's power over the land's fertility becomes even more legendary.
And you can see this influence woven all through their society. The very idea of the shield maiden, totally inspired by warrior goddesses like Freya and Skadi.
The Volur, the respected seeresses who could see the future, they were channeling that feminine magic of Satyr. The community's healers were guided by a goddess of healing, Ymir, and the safety of the entire clan fell under the protection of goddesses like Frigg and Sif.
Which brings us to today, because these figures are not just fading away. Far from it. They're making a huge comeback. So the question is why? Why do these ancient goddesses still feel so relevant right now?
Their legacy is absolutely thriving, and you can see it in a few key places. First, in modern spiritual movements like neo-paganism, where they play a central role. Second, look at our media, books, video games, movies. They're being reimagined as complex, powerful characters. And third, they become incredible symbols of female strength and autonomy.
And I think at the end of the day, their stories resonate so deeply because they just smash the idea that power is only a masculine trait. They show us a different model, a more balanced one. They prove that real strength is also found in wisdom, in resilience, and in connection. Power comes in many, many forms.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If the goddesses in this pantheon were shaping life, death, and even fate itself, if they were teaching magic to the gods and claiming the dead first, well, you have to ask yourself, who really held the power here?